2021 will be the year of Keanu. Keanu Reeves is currently shooting for two film franchises that made him famous. Reeves will be Neo in the fourth Matrix film and the title character in John Wick Chapter 4. Both are slated for a 2021 release on May 21st, the exact same day. What an action-packed double feature that's going to be. Keanu will also reunite with Alex Winter and everyone's favorite time-traveling bros franchise, Bill and Ted. The third film still finds both rockers trying to create music for their band Wild Stallions, the music that apparently shapes their utopian future. An emissary from the future tells them that they have exactly 80 minutes to create an epic rock record, or their society will completely come to an end. And speaking of continuing franchises, the 9th chapter of the Fast and Furious saga will be celebrated by a live concert in Miami early next year. The show will feature Cardi B, Wiz Khalifa, and Fast actor and Oscar winner, I'm just kidding, Ludacris himself. The festival will conclude with the premiere of the movie's trailer. Fast and Furious 9 races into theaters May 22nd, 2020. And that's a wrap. With What's Up Hollywood, I'm Kyle Spisak. Even though the ending of Game of Thrones wasn't universally accepted, fans are headed back to Westeros in 2022. HBO is feeding the dragons and flying back into A Song of Ice and Fire with House of the Dragon, a prequel series set 300 years before the events of Game of Thrones. The series is described as a history book chronicling the rise and dynasty of the Targaryen family. Apparently, another popular fantasy series, it isn't faring as well. An adaptation of the beloved Dark Tower series by Stephen King has already been canceled by Amazon Prime streaming services. The pilot, led by Walking Dead producer Glenn Mazzara, reportedly fired nothing but blanks from a six-shooter wielding gunslinger protagonist. Reportedly, the pilot was not on the level of upcoming Amazon fantasy series Wheel of Time and Lord of the Rings. While the MCU is dominating shared comic book universes, Sony Pictures is trying to make their own Spider-Man universe. Venom was a smash, nearing $1 billion at the box office, and new Spidey baddie movie, Morbius, will be released this July. Jared Leto stars as a vampire antagonist, and it's obvious Sony is thirsty for some box office blood here. There's also a special appearance from a familiar web crawler foe at the end of this preview. We're headed back to the Matrix next year, but one familiar face won't be returning to the simulated reality. Hugo Weaving, the actor who portrayed antagonist Agent Smith, is out on Matrix 4, citing some scheduling issues. Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss will return to the fourth film, and Lana Wachowski will also reprise her role as director. J.J. Abrams' Bad Robot production company is working on an adaptation of Justice League Dark for Warner Brothers. JLD will follow a superhero team of supernatural members of the DCU, including John Constantine, Swamp Thing, amongst others. The project is the latest in a string of more adult-themed DC films since the success of the billion-dollar grossing Oscar-nominated Joker movie. The latest R-rated venture, Birds of Prey, fights its way into theaters this February, and here's a look at the film.
Unless we all want to die very unpleasant deaths, we're gonna have to work together.
Sure.
Are we ready?
You blow up fuse, coming through, devil cuts loose, so what's the use?
Turn it up!
Sky kicks in, devil cuts loose, blow, 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 blow your fuse. When you fall in love.
Marvel TV and Hulu are collabing on Marvel's MODOK, the latest trend in adapting Marvel villains in their own standalone content. An animated series based on the fan-favorite villain is slated for a 2020 debut later this year, and it stars stand-up comedian Patton Oswalt as the title character. The series will reportedly revolve around the antagonist suffering a midlife crisis as his evil organization fails around him. Speaking of Marvel villains, Jared Leto will star as Spidey baddie Morbius in an upcoming adaptation. When a biochemist tries to cure himself of a rare blood disease, he accidentally is infected with a form of vampirism. Morbius will sink his teeth into audiences July 31st. Trekkie fans will get plenty of deep space adventures with their favorite captain very soon. The upcoming Picard series, starring Next Generation's iconic protagonist, portrayed by Patrick Stewart, has already been renewed for a second season. The first season is slated for a January 23rd release on CBS All Access. After the insanely successful Rick and Morty animated series returned this year with a new season, Back to the Future star Christopher Lloyd wants to meet the animated Galaxy Travelers. The actor who portrayed the iconic Doc Brown had a hypothetical plot for the encounter, saying, quote, "Back to the Future 4 collides with Rick and Morty. Some way, somewhere, in another time zone, in another space zone. Sounds interesting. And that's a wrap. With What's Up Hollywood, I'm Kyle Spisak. After an incredible first season, is the doomsday clock stuck before midnight? Arguably, this year's best show, Watchmen, ended with little questions as to the fate of its superhero ensemble. And according to creator Damon Lindelof, Watchmen may be one and done for HBO. Although it's the network's best viewership since 2017's Big Little Lies, Lindelof claims that he doesn't have any ideas for a follow-up. However, the former Lost creator wouldn't be opposed to another showrunner stepping in and continuing the story. Speaking of creators ditching projects, Quentin Tarantino is reportedly distancing himself from directing an upcoming Star Trek reboot. The Revenant writer Mark L. Smith already has a script for the R-rated sci-fi epic. Instead, QT may focus on the long-awaited finale to his Kill Bill series. And that's a wrap. With What's Up Hollywood, I'm Kyle Spisak. It's a popular show whose protagonist never takes off his helmet. In fact, there may be a reason for that. Pedro Pascal stars as the title character in The Mandalorian, the popular Disney Plus live-action Star Wars series. However, on-set leaks claim that the actor wasn't even under the armor in the show. According to Episode 4 director and A-list actress Bryce Dallas Howard, Pascal wasn't on set during his stint on the series. Stuntman Brendan Wayne did most of the bounty hunting on camera, and this isn't too shocking considering that James Earl Jones was obviously not under Darth Vader's iconic armor. Speaking of Star Wars, actor John Boyega admits he doesn't like The Last Jedi. Boyega said, quote, "I don't feel even after 3 films still, we don't know much about the main characters as we got to know Han, Luke, and Leia." Another famous sci-fi franchise has added more actors to its cast. 2022's Matrix 4 will add Jonathan Groff of Mindhunter and Frozen fame. Of course, Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss will return as Neo and Trinity, respectively. And that's a wrap. Be sure to check out our social media pages for more. With What's Up Hollywood, I'm Kyle Spisak. Welcome to What's Up Hollywood, where we are talking the latest Marvel blockbuster. After 10 years, Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow is finally getting her own movie. The first trailer to the next MCU film dropped earlier this week. The prequel will tell the origins of Natasha Romanoff and her family of mercenaries, and one of the biggest complaints so far, though, is the appearance of Taskmaster. Usually portrayed as a Grim Reaper-looking anti-hero, this version of the character looks kind of like a paintballer or a rejected G.I. Joe character. The rest of the trailer looks fantastic, with Black Widow finally getting her long overdue feature. The movie will kick off Phase 4 of the MCU this May, followed by The Eternals in November. Disney Plus will also air Marvel shows later in 2020. And that's a wrap with What's Up Hollywood. I'm Kyle Spisak.
Hey y'all, Valerie here for What's Up Hollywood. It is finally the 1st of December and there's a film that is fit for the holidays. After 6 years, the movie that we have all been waiting for is finally out and it did not disappoint at the box office. Frozen 2 topped, dominated, and crushed all of the other films, bringing in $127 million its first weekend of release. Don't worry, I am not giving any spoilers away. All I'm saying is you have to go watch it and you'll be surprised what happens with Elsa and Anna. Let us know what you think of Frozen 2 on our Facebook. In superhero news on Disney Plus, a deleted scene from the movie Avengers Endgame has surfaced. Tony Stark, played by Robert Downey Jr., meets adult Morgan Stark, played by 13 Reasons star Catherine Langford. The scene comes right after Tony ends up sacrificing himself to save everyone by using the Infinity Stones to defeat Thanos. You can see the full deleted scene on Disney Plus. Well, that's all for tonight. Make sure to like Film Flickers on Facebook for the up-to-minute movie news you love. For What's Up Hollywood, I am Valerie Lopez, and that's a wrap.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another edition of What's Up Hollywood. I'm your host for the week, Erin Carreño. All right, look out for Sonic the Hedgehog because it will finally race into theaters in February. And earlier this year, the film's trailer was notoriously ridiculed online for how Sonic looked, so the creators decided to redo the Sega character's appearance and delay the film's release. And let me just say, y'all, the new trailer looks a whole lot closer to the racing hedgehog that we all know and love.
I'm Sonic, a little ball of super energy in an extremely handsome package. On my planet, people were always after my powers, so I came to yours.
All right, the talk of the week was hands down the newest streaming service, Disney Plus, that brought in over 10 million subscribers in its very first day. Star Wars The Mandalorian also debuted, and despite Disney's refusal to share the ratings, the first live-action Star Wars series, yes, that series, not movie, but series, seems to be already a hit. So get ready to binge, because it is reported that numerous Star Wars and Marvel shows will be released on the platform throughout 2020.